Ready. Play.
Well, for sure. Oh my god, every time. Well, for sure, first matches are tricky, so I'm happy that I'm through and I have, already this experience of playing on center court. It's true, it's a little bit different than the practice court, but I'm happy that, I'm through and I'm gonna have more chances.
Iga, congrats on the win. Just in terms of all of the adjustments that you've been talking about wanting to make in advance of going step by step through this event, how pleased were you with what kind of where you were in terms of string tension, movement, control, all that sort of stuff today?
Well, that was great for sure, but I feel like my opponent played pretty differently than most of the players, so that was pretty tricky, especially coming from Stuttgart, where we played on a kind of a surface where everything was lower. But I need a couple of games to get used to that, and I would say technicalities and the rest of it we have it figured out. So we'll also see how the conditions in terms of weather are going to change here. But with my coach's experience, I think it's going to be fine.
Just a question, if you could elaborate on the differences between the practice courts and the main court.
So the practice court, it's mostly like cement and a little bit of clay, and the clay is more like a powder. And on center court, it's underneath. I feel like there's different kind of clay that is like more yellow, the same as on round garros, I would say. So it's a little bit softer. The slides are shorter, and the ball is. It feel like it's like bouncing more dynamically. But again, it's hard for me to say a lot because my opponent, she played really high and different than the girls and the sparring partner that I played against on practices.
Hi, this is a two-week tournament now, or thereabouts. Just curious how you feel about now it's longer and the pros and cons of that.
Well, for sure, after coming here from Stuttgart, it's nice to have a few more days off and a few more days to adjust. But during tournament, but still, you have to be ready for that first match, and I don't think it's a lot of time between those tournaments to recover, and kind of do a fresh start, and I think it's gonna be similar in Rome. So, physically, I think it's tougher in that case that we still have to go on court on these days off and find the rhythm. And if the tournaments were shorter, then we have more time in between to actually have days off without even looking at the racket, But I think I don't know, honestly, I haven't thought about that a lot. We'll see maybe after the whole swing, maybe, we'll see. I don't know really. For sure, it would be nice to have a little bit longer breaks between maybe indoor and outdoor tournaments, but the season is tough to kind of make it all happen in these 52 weeks, so yeah.
John from Talking Tennis. Do you think perhaps that one or two of the differences and surprises as well today were because it was at night and I guess you practice in the day? And have you ever considered thinking, my match is at night, maybe I could practice at night, or has that never been a consideration?
Oh yeah, we always do one session in the evening, but as I said, I didn't have a lot of time here, so our main goal was to just spend as much time possible on the court, doesn't matter what time. But I thought that playing night session is going to be a little bit easier than day session, so I wasn't worried about that. Well, in second set I did the throw for my serve and I was surprised how dark the sky was, so that was pretty stupid. But yeah, playing at sunset, it's tricky, but in Indian Wells I had similar situation, so I'm using my experience.
Next question.
Iga, just had a quick question about the slide in particular on clay, and specifically the concept of sliding into the ball as opposed to just like sliding as a defensive maneuver and being balanced when you hit the ball. I'm curious for you, when in your career did you learn that? Like, do you remember a coach telling you how to do it, or you just knew that?
I kind of knew.
How?
I think when I was injured, when I was 16 and I had surgery, then we focused when I was coming back to do sliding on both sides because I stopped for a while, and that was the only thing, honestly, because it was all natural for me. Yeah, I've never practiced that, I think.
Last couple of questions. Yeah, we'll come to Tumani.
I'm writing a piece about returning, and you're one of the best, well, probably the best returner on the tour. Just wondering, you're a very aggressive returner, and you stand close to the baseline. Have you ever like experimented with standing further back, and what the challenges are of doing that?
Well, I've never experimented in that because I think, we have to be faster and more aggressive nowadays in tennis, so it didn't really make sense to do that. Well, but on clay you can stand a little bit further and you'll catch these balls even when they're wide, But, well, wait, no, but what was the other part?
Just like if what the challenges would be of standing far back and trying to get back up to the baseline and.
That's not a problem. I would say that you're not gonna kind of surprise your opponent with faster return, and you have to put much more power to that return to make it the same speed. Yeah, so I don't know. I feel like I'm talking nonsense.
No, it makes sense.
And well, I think if I would stay more back, my split step would be higher and longer, and I feel like I wouldn't have that much time to kind of react, so yeah.
And then John for our last question. Thank you.
I don't think so.
An easy question.
Yeah, it's actually a sort of a follow-up actually to Tumani. Do you ever sorry Tumani, or maybe good. Anyway, do you ever like before the serve on the return? Do you kind of have a premeditated idea? Like, are you thinking, I'm going to go for this? And if so, does it depend on the situation in the match, or are you just basically reacting every time to where the ball lands and how
You mean
fast
I'm
it is?
gonna go for one direction?
Well, maybe you just you think, you know what, it's match point, I'm match point down, or 3 match points down, I'm already in this hole, I'm just going to go for it on this return.
You mean like play as fast as possible
Just
and just risk?
Hit it as hard as you can.
Well, yeah, I do that sometimes, but still, if I would hit it as hard as I can, I would hit it to the stands, so can't really do that. It's more about, control and hitting it clean, like, yeah, and like more precise, But for sure, when I'm playing against players who are really good servers, sometimes I'm kind of choosing the direction before, and it's tricky, but it depends on the feeling and intuition a little bit.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.